From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Monday morning. We have a wind advisory that's in place for the Blue Foothills. This goes until 7 for this morning. The winds at times this morning have gusted upwards of 30 miles per hour, now down to around 15 miles per hour in the Pendleton area. But you start to compare that with the temperatures that we're seeing this morning in Pendleton. It's 60 degrees there, 47 in Walla Walla. And the reason why it's so much warmer in Pendleton is because we have the stronger wind gusts there. So we have more air that's sloping down the Blue Mountains. When the air sinks, it compresses and it warms. And so that's why, again, Pendleton is much, much warmer compared to the rest of us that are mostly in the low to mid 40s. Right now, visibility is reduced in portions of the basin, also in the valleys, especially up in the Cascades. So in those areas, you would want to take it slow on the roadways and use the low beams if you do run into one of those patches of fog. We are tracking some wet weather, mostly lining up and down the Cascades, but we do have some light showers that are running out ahead of that in Yakima County and Benton County, starting to get into Morrow County at this point, and we're going to see more of that throughout the rest of this morning. So here's the bottom line for the forecast as we move forward. We'll have a couple different storm systems, one for Monday and Tuesday, the next one for Wednesday and Thursday, another one into Sunday and Monday that we're keeping a very close eye on, but a little bit of a reprieve in the action for Friday and Saturday. I'll break down all the moving parts to this forecast coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Right now on Good Morning Northwest at 6 o'clock, we are following a very serious crash in Benton County. We'll have the very latest coming up. Also ahead, Josh Colbreth is tracking your First Alert weather forecast. He'll return with an update. And check this out, a fire breaks out in Pasco. We've got the latest on this situation coming up. And today is Veterans Day. We're taking a look at many events happening across our region. Good Morning Northwest at 6 o'clock begins now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everybody. 6:03 on your Veterans Day as we are honoring vets everywhere. Thank you for joining us. I'm Austin Reed, filling in for Jessica Jalal. Let's get to your top stories this morning. And new this morning, 2 people are dead after an ATV and a motorbike crash in Benton County. The crash happened on South Dag Road just after 9 o'clock last night. When crews got to the scene, they found 2 people on the road. They say both had died at the scene. Authorities say it appears the motorbike caught fire in the crash. It was put out quickly. At this time, the crash is under investigation, but it does appear that the drivers hit one another head on. The identities of the 2 people are being withheld at this time until their families can be notified. We'll have much more on this situation throughout the day on Apple Valley News Now. And the Richland Police Department is investigating a crash that happened late Sunday night. This crash happened on Cullum Avenue and Gillespie Street just after 6 p.m. At least 1 person was taken to the hospital with injuries. Their condition is not yet known. We will update you more when we get more information throughout the morning. All right, we're going to head to Pasco now. Fire officials say a dog died and a person was taken to the hospital with injuries after a house fire in Pasco. Now, this fire broke out Friday just after 10 p.m. in the 4400 block of West Nixon Street. Fire officials were at the scene within a few minutes of the call. Now, they also say that they also say that they found flames and heavy smoke coming from the windows and roof. 1 person suffered smoke inhalation and an injury to their foot. They were taken to the hospital for treatment. 2 dogs escaped the fire, but firefighters found the body of another dog inside the home that didn't make it. At one point, firefighters had to leave the home due to electric arcing, and they continued to battle the blaze from the outside. It took nearly 9 hours before fire crews could leave the scene. The house has significant damage and can no longer be lived in, according to fire officials. All right, to other news this morning, and your time right now, 6:05. And we apologize, we're having a few issues with some of our scripts right now, but we are going to be talking about the Cadillac strike, and here is Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen with the latest.
After multiple bargaining sessions since January and a workers' strike, Cadillac and its workers agreed on a new contract. The strike came after workers and the hospital management were unable to come to an agreement on pay and other working conditions. The union gave notice of the strike on August 10th. The two groups had been negotiating contract terms for months. More than 1,100 Cadillac technicians and service workers went on strike, with support from SEIU 1199 Northwest, claiming that Cadillac performed unfair labor practices to their existing wages and staffing demands. During the strike, Cadillac contacted an outside company to bring in workers during the strike. Once the strike was declared over, some controversy occurred when workers returned to work, and those who were not scheduled to work the day the strike ended were met with hospital security who would not let them in the building. SEIU 1199 Northwest President Jane Hopkins filed an unfair labor practice lawsuit because of it. After 10 months of negotiations, the hospital and union agreed to ratify a new contract for the workers. The new contract gives workers more money, more staffing investments, and safeguards in the workplace. Cadillac sent Apple Valley a statement about the contract saying, in part, "We are pleased to share that Cadillac and Service Employees International Union, SEIU 1199 Northwest, have reached an agreement on the terms of a new collective bargaining agreement for the caregivers, in-service, and tech roles represented by SEIU, which was ratified in late October." Cadillac's commitment from the very first bargaining session over 10 months ago and throughout the bargaining process was to negotiate a fair and market-competitive agreement for our caregivers, and that is what we did. Now, we reached out to SEIU 1199 Union President for a comment and have not yet heard back. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
All right, Dan, thank you for that story. Your time right now, 6:08, and we are talking about the race for Congress in U.S. District 4. We have some new information this morning. According to the Seattle Times, U.S. Representative Dan Newhouse has officially won a 6th term. This is as of late Friday, defeating challenger and fellow Republican Jared Sessler. Now, we spoke with Sessler over the phone on Friday, just before these new numbers were released. He was hoping he still had a chance. Take a listen.
Well, just look forward to getting all of the votes counted, and obviously we would have loved for the race to not have been this close, but there's a bunch of factors contributing to that, including a pretty high Democrat turnout for Dan Newhouse, which is disappointing. More than 50% of his voters are Democrat.
Now, for the latest in this race, go to our website, applevalleynewsnow.com. We are also going to be following up with Sessler today, along with Dan Newhouse, in response to these latest numbers. And for the latest election results, local, national, and regional, go to our website, applevalleynewsnow.com. You can also use the QR code on your screen right there. And then, of course, download our Apple Valley News Now app. All right, well, check this out. We are talking about the Oregon Ducks this morning, and we're going to get to that story. There it is. Oregon's Dylan Gabriel breaks the NCAA record for touchdown passes. So congrats to him. All right, 6:10 is your time on this Monday. It is Veterans Day. We're going to be talking about some local Veterans Day events. Also ahead, a community in mourning at a university back east in Alabama. We're tracking that story. And as we leave you to break, here is a live picture from Richland. Still dark out there. Josh Colbreth, he's going to explain why it is a warm morning in Pendleton, but it's chilly elsewhere. Stay with us, everybody.
Buenos dias. I'm Eduardo Garcia, and this is my crew, and we're building this ADU. And we're also building this.
Hey, I'm Tanya Galvez. I work at Par Lumber. and we supply Eddie with all the materials he needs.
We get a lot of satisfaction out of building things right. That is why we get all our materials and supplies from PAR.
PAR, your total home building source since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you gonna build?
I've always had an eye for opportunity. As a kid, I was hustling, selling candy, mowing lawns, you name it. That drive never left me. The first time I tasted crumble, it was clear to me this was more than just a cookie. From that moment, I knew this was a chance to bring the taste of something new to our neighborhood. But I couldn't do it alone. That's where Happel came in. With their support, I was able to secure the loan that brought Crumble to our community. Where do you credit union?
Workers and the families of deceased workers who worked at the Hanford site are now eligible for compensation for diseases and illnesses. This may be in addition to compensation already being received. Smart Law will be hosting a Hanford Workers' Compensation educational dinner at their Kennewick office Thursday, November 21st at 6 p.m. To register, call 509-735-5555. Dinner provided. Smart Law, smart choice.
Owning a food truck was my dream, but my back and leg pain made every day a struggle. Then my personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store got me back in the picture.
Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks.
I'm back to being the best version of myself.
Get back in the picture. The Good Feet store. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Affordable? Yeah, we got that. Stylish? Got that covered too. Quality? You can bet on it. At Furniture Row, we stock furniture that's value priced, built to last, and looks fabulous. And during the pre-Black Friday sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Plus, find huge savings on sofas and sectionals, dining groups, bedroom sets, and mattresses. Or score 60 months no interest. The pre-Black Friday sale, on now at Furniture Row.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's take a bit of a temperature tour for this morning as we're in the 40s in Kittitas County, 44 in Ellensburg, 40 for Cle Elum. We're in the low to mid 40s in the Yakima Valley, and then in the lower Columbia Basin, we're also in the low to mid 40s, 44 in the Tri-Cities, 43 up at the Hanford site. Then in the foothills of the Blue Mountains, we're seeing a very interesting phenomenon as we're at 47 right now in Walla Walla. That's not too much warmer compared to the rest of the area, but look at Milton Freewater, look at Pendleton in the mid 50s, even some low 60s, and you can attribute that to the winds that are downsloping down the Blue Mountains, and when that air sinks, it compresses and it warms, thus Pendleton and Milton Freewater much warmer compared to the rest of the viewing area. Here's your day planner for today. Not much changes in the forecast from 8 to 12 p.m. You see temperatures mostly in the 40s and 50s. Showers will be pretty widespread at this point, but into the afternoon starting to clear out, even seeing some sunshine in the valleys, but clouds hanging a little bit tougher for the basin and foothills. Could even have some showers hanging tough as well in the foothills by 4 p.m. So for today, will actually be about 5 degrees above average for this time of the year. Winds gusting out of the south and west between 20 to 25 miles per hour, in particular for the Yakima Valley, for the lower Columbia Basin, and for the Blue Foothills and Mountains. And then for tonight, the winds will calm down for the valley, but they'll continue to gust between 20 to 25 miles per hour for the Basin, Foothills, and Blues. We'll have patchy areas of fog for the Cascades, for the valleys, and for the foothills. And then we're tracking more storm systems for the rest of this week. I'll tell you what those are going to be about coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. 6:15 is your time. Tuskegee University is in mourning today after homecoming weekend celebrations turned to tragedy. Officials say an 18-year-old is dead and at least 16 people are injured after someone opened fire at the historically black school in Alabama. Amy Kiley has more.
One popped off right in front of us. There was multiple gunshots.
At least one person is dead and 16 are injured after a mass shooting at Tuskegee University yesterday.
At that point, I just remember get down and run.
Witnesses say it happened during the HBCU's homecoming weekend.
All of a sudden, people are pushing and shoving. And I didn't think nothing of it because it's like a crowded environment. People are trying to get through, but instead of it being like one person pushing and shoving, the entire crowd shifted.
Officials say a suspect arrested in connection with the incident is charged with possession of a machine gun. They say he was caught leaving the scene with a converted firearm. The Macon County coroner identifies the person who died as 18-year-old Latavion Johnson. Officials say he wasn't a student. They say the other victims include a dozen people taken to the hospital with gunfire injuries and 4 who got hurt in other ways.
Our hearts are broken, and we're reminded of the importance and the fragility of life.
Even if I didn't get shot firsthand, my life has still been impacted by this.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Classes at the university are canceled today and grief counselors are on hand. It is still unclear if the suspect who is arrested has an attorney just yet. 6:16 on your Monday, Veterans Day. Still ahead on Good Morning Northwest. President-elect Trump's administration is beginning to take shape. This morning, there are a few movements to tell you about. That's when we come back. Stay tuned.
Why do patients and families immediately think of Good Shepherd? They trust our knowledge and expertise. They value the compassionate care we provide. They feel like they are being taken care of by family. From our renowned doctors and top-of-the-line technology to our state-of-the-art facilities, Good Shepherd Healthcare System. Patients first, always.
I've always had an eye for opportunity. As a kid, I was hustling, selling candy, mowing lawns, you name it. That drive never left me. The first time I tasted crumble, it was clear to me this was more than just a cookie. From that moment, I knew this was a chance to bring the taste of something new to our neighborhood. But I couldn't do it alone. That's where Happel came in. With their support, I was able to secure the loan that brought Crumble to our community. Where do you credit union?
It's our favorite time of the year at Legends Casino Hotel because we're giving away holiday Hondas and gift boxes of cash. Use your Legends Rewards card all November long for your chance to win a $2, $4, $6, or $10,000 gift box every Thursday. And a new 2024 Honda Accord on November 21st. This ain't no turkey. Well, we are giving away turkeys too this month, but that's a separate promotion and shouldn't be confused with winning a new Honda Accord. Only at Legends Casino Hotel.
Unlock beautiful skin with Curve Appeal's limited time special. For a short time only, enjoy any IPL, Resurfex, RF microneedling, or combo treatments. Buy one and get the next area 50% off. Treat yourself to smoother, glowing skin across your face, neck, chest, arms, or tummy. Restrictions apply. Both areas must be used in the same treatment time. Feel fabulous and look flawless. Ready to look as young as you feel? Book your appointment today with Curve Appeal.
Hey, Luke, I am so excited to host the CMA Awards again.
Nashville, here we come. Hang tight, honey, got a pocket full of money and a string holding. Lady, what are you doing here?
I'm hosting the CMA Awards with y'all.
It looks like clear skies and a star-studded night. Saddle up for the CMA Awards from Nashville, only on Apple Valley News Now.
All right, boys. Y'all ready to do this?
Let's do it.
Move on over, Luke.
Okay, get. Oh.
North Idaho's Priest Lake in early fall. Fly the Northwest Tuesday. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We continue to watch this band of rainfall. Looks like it's pretty light rainfall for the time being, but it continues to march off towards the east. We'll show you what happens with that a little bit later in the day with Futurecast. We put this in motion. You can see come time for lunchtime, most of this is going to be out of our area. The main band of precip is going to be on top of the Blue Mountains, but we'll still have some scattered showers just kind of flowing through here throughout the rest of today. Maybe a little bit more in the way of leftover showers in the Cascades and Kittitas Valley by midnight. But watch what happens for Tuesday. The day is going to start off pretty dry, but then we have that next round, big time round of rain and yes, even some snow. It's going to arrive by the 4 p.m., 5 p.m. hour. Then that'll impact us as we head into Wednesday. We'll have more to go for Thursday as well. So here's some of the rainfall totals we're expecting for Monday and Tuesday. This is subject to change. We're thinking maybe 1.5 inches of water in the Cascades, up to 1/2 inch in the Blues, up to 1/4 inch for the Kittitas Valley and Blue Foothills, but probably less than 1/10 inch of water for those of us here in the Yakima Valley and in the lower Columbia Basin. There will be a wintry element to the storm system as snow levels are going to start way above our heads for this morning, but stabilizing between 3,500 to 4,500 feet for today and tomorrow. So let's show you some of the snowfall totals that we're expecting over the next couple of days. This is also subject to change. We're thinking maybe 3 to 6 inches on US 2, on US 12, but not much doing for US 97, for Interstate 90, or for any of these Blue Mountain passes. We are expecting more snow for this Sunday-Monday storm system, but first we have another one to deal with for Wednesday and Thursday. Overall, the storm system is looking much wetter, but it's not looking like it's going to be much snowier. Kind of ho-hum snowfall totals we're expecting from that one, but you can see cooler weather settling in for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's going to set the stage for a better chance at snow into Sunday and Monday. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Will be drier Tuesday during the day, but more wet weather expected late Tuesday into Wednesday, turning again cooler by Friday. In Yakima, wet weather likely Monday through Wednesday. A few showers left over for Thursday and Friday, then temporarily dry for Saturday. In Ellensburg, cool and damp this week, turning even cooler with highs stuck in the 40s this weekend. In Hermiston, a bit of a break in the action to start Tuesday, but another round of wet weather impacts us late Tuesday into Wednesday. Then for Walla Walla, wet weather likely all throughout this week, slightly drier by Saturday, but more wet weather possible by Sunday.
Josh, thank you. 6:22 is your time. A new administration is starting to take shape. President-elect Donald Trump announced who he'll tap to lead border security, as he also weighs in on the new Republican-controlled Senate. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the very latest from Washington.
This morning, former Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director Tom Homan, who carried out one of the most controversial border policies during Donald Trump's first term, is set to return to the White House. The president-elect announced Homan will serve as border czar, tapped to fulfill Trump's campaign promise of the largest mass deportation in American history. Homan recently spoke with 60 Minutes.
I hear a lot of people say, the talk of a mass deportation is racist, it's threatening to the immigrant community. It's not threatening to the immigrant community. It should be threatening to the illegal immigrant community.
As ICE director, Homan led the zero tolerance policy that separated parents from their children at the border. The ACLU estimates between 500 and 1,000 families have yet to be reunited. When asked if there's a way to carry out mass deportations without separating families, Homan said this.
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Trump also weighing in on the new Republican-controlled Senate, saying whoever leads it must allow recess appointments. That would give Trump temporary power to fill vacancies without Senate approval. The issue came up in 2014 when the Supreme Court ruled against President Obama's use of recess appointments. Now, Senators John Thune, John Cornyn, and Rick Scott are each running for Senate Majority Leader. And on recess appointments, they've all signaled support.
That was ABC's Christiane Cordero reporting. Trump has also selected Representative Elise Stefanik to be the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. She is known for grilling Ivy League university presidents on campus anti-Semitism, leading to 2 of their resignations. Still ahead on Apple Valley News Now's Good Morning Northwest. It is another Grammy nomination for a former president. What Jimmy Carter is up for this time and how he could set a record. 6:24 on this Monday, Veterans Day. We're back after this.
Hey babe, what's a 5-letter word that starts with PH and ends with NE?
James, have you tried the 4 free phone flakes?
Dad, 4 free phones.
4 free phones?
Thanks. Choose 4 free phones and 4 lines for $90 a month, no trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular.
At Consumer Reports, we've been testing products and advocating for consumers for over 80 years. Each year, we test thousands of products for safety, reliability, and performance. A product with high scores becomes CR Recommended. You'll see CR Recommended while shopping online and in stores. We buy all of the products we rate. No one can pay us to rate a product. Purchase a membership to Consumer Reports and get exclusive access to detailed ratings and reviews on CR.org and our mobile ratings app.
For over
over 30 years, Denver Mattress has been crafting factory direct mattresses with innovative design and unrivaled quality, improving the sleeping lives of millions of people one night at a time. And during the pre-Black Friday sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Summit Firm, only $349.99. And save $50 on our Buena Vista lineup, or get 60 months no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
This holiday season, Pingree Ford is making room for 2025. So come on down for amazing prices on our brand new in-stock 2024 inventory. Ford F-150s, Pingree's got them. Explorers, you bet. Even Broncos and Super Duties. And this November and December, Pingree Ford is giving back with Toys for Tots and Coats for Kids. Stop in by December 9th with unwrapped toys and new or gently used coats to spread some holiday cheer. Come see us today and feel the power of Pingree.
Alice's birthday is coming up. We're in this comfy room in Triple Play Hotel so we can make plans without her hearing.
So we need a huge cake, a giant salad, and a good-sized mariachi band. Hold on a second. Does it seem a little dark in here for 2 p.m.?
Sorry, guys. Where I'm from, they didn't do birthdays. It's very exciting.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including bowling, a ropes course, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
U.S. Cellular has the incredible new iPhone 16 Pro. The first iPhone built for Apple Intelligence. Spread the word.
And don't forget camera control. It'll blow you away.
Get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us. No trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
The Kraken battle the Blue Jackets at Climate Pledge. Apple Valley News Now Tuesday.
All right, now to entertainment news at 6:27. Once again, former President Jimmy Carter is making history. Carter received his 10th Grammy Award nomination for the spoken word album last Sunday in Plains.
The nomination comes about a month after Carter turned 100 years old. The album features some classic songs such as America the Beautiful and Amazing Grace, and it includes recordings from Carter's Sunday school lessons he gave at a local church in his hometown of Plains, Georgia.
Yeah, church was very important to Carter, and Carter has won 3 Grammys, and if he wins this time, he would become, get this, the oldest ever Grammy winner. He is facing some tough competition. Barbra Streisand, Dolly Parton, George Clinton, and Guy Oldfield also were nominated in the Best Audiobook Narration and Storytelling Recording category.
The dance industry is mourning the loss of Judith Jamison. A spokesman for the Ailey Company says Jamison died after a brief illness in Manhattan Saturday.
Yeah, Jamison began dancing with the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater in 1965, a time when black dancers were rare in ballet. She went on to perform in some of Ailey's most prized works, including Cry and Revelations. She left the Ailey troupe in 1980, but later returned in 1989 to take on the role of artistic director when Ailey died.
Jamison remained with the company until she retired in 2011. Among the awards she received include Kennedy Center Honors and National Medal of Arts. Judith Jamison was 81 years old.
All right, 6:29 on your Monday. It is Veterans Day. Of course, we are honoring all the vets out there. Still ahead at 6:30, Yakima's interim chief of police addressing the city after a shocking act of violence in a grocery store parking lot that left 3 people dead. Plus, as I just said, today is Veterans Day, how you can honor veterans across the region. And Josh will have your forecast, so stay with us.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
Atomic Health pays me to do the in-home, I guess nursing or the things I do to help out, so we don't need a nurse. Meds, cooking, cleaning, getting them to doctor's appointments, picking up prescriptions, whatever else needs to be done. So at least once a month or whenever I need her, Sarah, or whatever nurse is available, comes to our house. If I have a worry that I'm not sure if he needs to go to the doctor, she comes and advises me and does an assessment and tells me if there's anything I need to do different, or I don't know that I could do this without him.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not.
This is the Ergo Smart Base from Tempur-Pedic, and it responds to snoring, so you don't have to. So no more nudging your partner or sleeping on the other side of the house, because the Tempur Ergo Smart Base actually detects snoring, then automatically adjusts to help reduce it all night, every night.
Save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and get a $300 gift. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
I got sandwiched between two trucks and trailers.
The insurance company tried to trick Michael.
The worst part was they hired a private investigator to stalk me for 2 years.
But he knew my number, 853-2222.
He taught him a lesson. We both taught him a lesson.
I made the insurance company pay.
He got me 5 times more than what I expected. This law firm is the best in Yakima, period.
The heavy hitter is one for you. Call 853-2222.
Nutcracker Magical Christmas Ballet celebrates the season with America's favorite holiday tradition. Gather your loved ones and be enchanted by an all-star international cast. Returning to the Capitol Theater November 18th and 19th. Tickets at nutcracker.com.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% APR for up to 84 months.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
Next Live, we're in Palm Springs with Shirley Ralph and Kyle Richards, plus the Ultimate Pickleball Challenge.
We're ready for anything that comes our way.
Look out!
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
November the 11th, 2024. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Austin Reed in for Jessica Jalal this morning. She will hopefully be back tomorrow, but Josh Colbreth is here. Hope you had a great weekend, everybody. And we saw a few showers, at least in the Tri-Cities area. But this week, you're really watching more activity.
Yeah, it's all throughout the week. We have multiple storm systems, one for Monday and Tuesday, one for Wednesday and Thursday, and then one for Sunday and Monday that we're keeping an especially close eye on for the potential for some snow up in our passes. So definitely stay tuned for that. But for this morning, our weather this morning is pretty interesting as we have some winds that at times have gusted upwards of 30 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and take graphics. You can see, gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour in the Pendleton area. Now in the basin and in the valleys, we're really not seeing any substantial wind gusts, but these wind gusts that are taking air and sliding it down the Blue Mountains. When that air slides down the mountains, it sinks, it compresses, and it warms. So at times this morning, Pendleton has been up to 60 degrees. It looks like a little bit of that has subsided. So now some pretty consistent temperatures across the map as we're seeing some low to mid 40s. Right now, visibility is reduced in the foothills, in the basin, in the valleys, in the mountains. So we're seeing some widespread patchy fog, if you will. So in those areas, of course, you want to take it slow and you'll want to use the low beams if you're hitting the roadways. We are tracking some wet weather, mostly lined up and down the Cascades, but we are seeing some scattered showers now starting to get into the valleys, into the basin, and we'll have more of that throughout the rest of today, mostly before 2 p.m. in the Tri-Cities, and then after that, it's looking mostly dry. So for today, we'll have temperatures in the 50s. It's going to be a cool day, but these highs will actually be a little bit above average for this time of the year. So I'll take you on a zone-by-zone look of today's forecast. Also, I'll show you what the storm system could do to our rainfall and snowfall deficits, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Almost to 6:35 now, and to continuing coverage on a deadly act of violence that hit the Yakima area just as the weekend was getting underway. This shooting happened just after 6:30 on the 2200 block of West Nob Hill Boulevard in the parking lot of the Safeway grocery store on Friday night. When officers got to the scene, they found a 19-year-old man dead from gunshot wounds. A 20-year-old man who was also suffering from a gunshot wound and multiple gunshot wounds was taken to the hospital, but he later died. Authorities say they chased a vehicle matching the description of the suspect's vehicle. They later found 2 people inside the car with gunshot wounds. The 2 people were taken to the hospital and are facing charges of homicide. It was the second deadly shooting in less than 24 hours apart in Yakima. Interim YPD Chief Sean Boyle releasing a statement to the people of Yakima saying in part, these types of incidents are unacceptable. We will commit that our department will work with our local law enforcement partners and the community to address the issues. He went on to say, we at the Yakima Police Department are committed to making our community safer, end quote. All right, well, let's take a look at some of the Veterans Day events available throughout the region today. We're going to start in the city of Kennewick, where the public is invited to the Regional Veterans Memorial in Columbia Park. This event starts at 11 a.m. There will be a flag raising by the Knights of the Columbus Honor Guard and the Pasco American Legion Honor Guard. A 3-round rifle volley will be done by the Kennewick VFW Post. There will also be speakers and elected officials in attendance. Also happening at 11 this morning, the Pasco Veterans Day ceremony. It will take place at City View Cemetery and features a solemn program, patriotic songs, the changing of the flags, and a wreath placement to honor veterans. Pasco's Mayor Pete Serrano will serve as the keynote speaker. Today, the McAllister Museum of Aviation in Yakima is preparing for a big celebration. Today, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., the museum will host people of all ages to experience dozens of displays on local veterans and aviation. Admission is free. The museum is located at 2008 South 16th Avenue. And the city of Yakima will honor veterans with the 2024 Veterans Day Parade in downtown. The VFW Post 379 is hosting this event. The parade begins at 10:45 at the intersection of Yakima Avenue and 6th Street and continues west on Yakima Avenue to 6th Avenue. The parade will end at 12:30. For our viewers in Northern Oregon, the city of Hermiston and American Legion Post 37 is hosting a special Veterans Day breakfast at the Hermiston Community Center. Doors open at 7:30. The breakfast starts at 8 a.m. It will be catered by the Pheasant Blue Color Bar and Grill. Local veterans will be featured and recognized during a program, and there will be the presentation of colors. Let's head to Prosser. Prosser Memorial Health is hosting its annual Veterans Day breakfast this morning. It starts in about 20 minutes at 7 a.m. It'll continue until 10 at the Prosser Senior and Community Center. Veterans and their families are welcome to come and enjoy a breakfast. An appreciation gift will also be given to veterans. Just a quick note, today flags will be lowered to half-staff starting tomorrow after the death of former Governor Daniel Evans. Evans passed away on Friday, September 20th at the age of 98. A member of the Republican Party, he served as governor for the state of Washington from 1965 all the way to 1977. He also served as a member of the U.S. Senate from 1983 to 1989. Governor Inslee asks flags to remain at half-staff until Thursday, November 14th. And if you see a vet today, make sure you thank them for their service. 6:39 on this Monday, still ahead on Good Morning Northwest. Monday is about making your money matter. Could your home office use an upgrade? This morning's Consumer Reports tells us how you can upgrade without breaking the bank. And as we leave you to break, look at that shot live from Richland. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth is tracking your first alert weather forecast as we are kicking off a brand new week. Stay with us.
North Idaho's Priest Lake in early fall. Fly the Northwest Tuesday.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Through December 31st, receive rebates up to $1,850 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
When uncertainty falls upon your freedom, you need an unwavering champion. We're dedicated to not just tipping the scales in your favor, but also delivering an unwavering and relentless defense. With over 5 decades of experience, we'll fiercely defend your freedom and secure the most favorable outcome. Your best defense, Quantum Legal.
You love the internet. But do you love your internet? Is your bundle a bundle of joy? Do you celebrate your contract's anniversary? No? You should meet Ziply Fiber. High-speed fiber optic internet means more freedom, more reliability, more speed on all your family's devices, all at the same time. Happily ever faster. Ziply Fiber. Call 1-888-GO-ZIPLY or visit ziplyfiber.com/GoZiply. Plans as low as $10 a month.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some. Gimme Some Bagels.
Here in Washington, we love the word and, like socks and sandals, flannels and beanies, wheat fields and mountains. And now with FundHub WA, saving money and helping the climate. Find grants to bring resources and funds to your community. Get incentives to grow your business and transition to clean energy. And discover rebates that will save you money at home and on the go and reduce emissions. Find funding opportunities today at fundhub.wa.gov.
Election night 2024.
Live election night.
As the votes were counted,
We've got some hot ones we are following for you right now.
one winner emerged. Apple Valley News Now.
Polls are closed, but there are people still in line.
Apple Valley News Now is on your side.
Next live, we're in Palm Springs with Shirley Ralph and Kyle Richards, plus the Ultimate Pickleball Challenge.
We're ready for anything that comes our way.
Look out!
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Let's go ahead and take you on a tour of today's forecast. We're going to start off in Kittitas County, where these high temperatures today are going to be up around 50 degrees. Snow levels this morning starting off around 6,500 feet. They'll end up around 4,000 or 4,500 feet a little bit later today. The winds will be light in Kittitas County for today, as the valley walls are going to really wall off the valley from some of the strongest wind gusts, but it's not necessarily going to be the same thing in all of the Yakima Valley, as these winds could gust out of the south and west upwards of 20 miles per hour. These high temperatures a little bit warmer, up into the mid 50s. Will be in the mid to upper 50s in the lower Columbia Basin, around 60 degrees in places like Benton City and Umatilla. It's going to be overcast for today, and these winds gusting out of the south and west upwards of 25 miles per hour. And the wind gust will be just about as strong, maybe a little bit stronger in the foothills of the Blues and in the Blue Mountains, also gusting out of the south and west upwards of 25 miles per hour. Most of these highs today will end up in the 50s. Okay, now let's talk about the big picture in terms of the rainfall deficit that we have heading into this storm system, as we certainly do have deficits across the map. And in the wake of this storm system, we still will have deficits, but the improvements that we'll see will be about 5 to 15% for the valleys, about 5 to 10% improvements for the basin and foothills. So still definitely a lot of work to go in that regard, but our snowpack is in a very favorable spot right now. We're above average heading into this storm system. We're going to be above average on the tail end of this storm system, and we have more storm systems to go. I'll tell you when, and I'll tell you how much rain and snow we can get from said storm systems, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Almost to 6:45 now. Even if you don't work from home every day, many of us do it from time to time. Making sure you're comfortable is key to any good setup. With some help from the experts at Consumer Reports, adding a few upgrades can boost your office and maybe even your productivity.
Setting up a comfortable and ergonomic home office can be challenging.
I've tried at least 6 chairs in the last 3 years.
Until she finds the right one, Rachel Kent works from an old wooden chair in her home office.
The wooden chair is not ideal, but it doesn't cause me lower back pain like the fancy chairs I tried to buy.
To help folks like Rachel find comfort while working from home, Consumer Reports ergonomic experts recently evaluated budget office chairs.
When looking for an ergonomic chair, the one thing I tell people to focus on is adjustability, because that's going to allow you to fit the chair to your body.
CR says with the Staples Dexley chair, you can adjust the height, armrest, lumbar, and headrest. If you're working on a laptop, a stand can raise the top of your screen to eye level so you don't strain your neck looking down. The Insignia ergonomic laptop stand requires no assembly or tools to adjust the height. While using a mouse, a wrist rest can keep your wrist in a neutral position to help reduce hand or wrist discomfort. Consider this small and supportive one from Belkin. And if your feet can't rest flat on the floor, try a footrest like this option from Mount It to bring the floor to you.
With a footrest, you're going to help support the feet and take some pressure off the underside of the thigh, which you'd find if your feet were just dangling.
No matter how long it takes, upgrading your space to fit your needs is worth the work.
When I find the right chair, I'm going to feel like my home office is finally complete.
This is Marcy Whalen.
I don't know about you, but I like this chair. It's very comfortable, as you can see. Consumer Reports does say it can be helpful to try out chairs at a store before buying or from a site with an easy return option. But of course, you decide. 6:46 is your time. Still ahead on Good Morning Northwest, we've got the morning sprint. Everything you need to know before you head out the door this morning, including this developing news. And Josh has your first alert forecast coming up for Veterans Day, as we are honoring vets everywhere.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to beat their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Welcome to the Walla Walla Airport, where you'll experience enhanced convenience. Your gateway to adventure has expanded its security checkpoint and upgraded the departure area for your comfort. With free parking and daily Alaska Airline flights to Seattle, your travel plans are easier than ever. Whether you're off to relax or to explore, start your journey smoothly with our improved facilities. Create unforgettable memories today. Book now at alaskaair.com. Your next adventure is just a flight away at Walla Walla Regional Airport, where parking is always free.
Hi, my name is Marcos. I've been riding Vanpool for 5 years. Let's go.
Why do I use BFD Vanpool?
Vanpool saves me on my commute.
I use Vanpool because it reduces wear and tear on my personal vehicles.
I'm a medical, and I've been riding Vanpool for 4 years.
I love doing my part to reduce traffic.
Vanpool is my tax dollars at work.
This is why I use BFD Vanpool.
To find out how Vanpool can change your commute, give us a call or visit bft.org.
Thank you for making Apple Valley News Now's Good Morning Northwest and ABC's Good Morning America the most watched morning news on local TV.
Thank you so much.
What's new, what's now, and what's next? Plus first alert weather every 10 minutes. Wake up with Apple Valley News Now.
On your side.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
I was suicidal all the time, thinking about it nonstop, every day, every moment.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing Neurostim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. At Neurostim TMS, we treat the root of the problem with a series of short daily treatments. Using a non-invasive magnetic field, TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
The treatment just completely, fundamentally changed my life.
Visit neurostimtms.com today or call to schedule your free consultation at any of our 12 Washington state locations.
Next Live, we're in Palm Springs Springs with Shirley Ralph and Kyle Richards, plus the Ultimate Pickleball Challenge.
We're ready for anything that comes our way.
Look out!
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
The Kraken battle the Blue Jackets at Climate Pledge. Apple Valley News Now Tuesday. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbroth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. You can see that the Cascades are just really eating up this band of moisture for this morning, as we do have some more scattered showers that are running out ahead of that now into the basin and to the valleys and into the foothills. And we'll put this in motion with future casts for the rest of this morning. By the time we get to lunchtime, you can see that the main band of moisture is mostly going to be situated on top of the Blue Mountains. And in the wake of that, just some scattered showers throughout the rest of this afternoon into this evening. Looks like the activity could ramp up a little bit closer to midnight, specifically in the Kittitas Valley and also in the Cascades. But we start off Tuesday morning with just some more scattered showers. But then we have this next pretty substantial round of rain and snow that's going to arrive around the 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. hour. And we'll have to deal with that as we head into Wednesday and into Thursday as well. But first, the storm system for Monday and a little bit of Tuesday. Here's some of the water totals from that. Maybe 1.5 inches of water for the Cascades, 1/2 inch for the Blue Mountains, upwards of 1/4 of that for the valley, for the Kittitas Valley and for the Blue Mountains, but less than 1/10 of an inch of water for those of us in the Yakima Valley and also for those of us in the lower Columbia Basin. Snow levels starting way up there for this morning, around 6,500 feet, and then they'll stabilize into this afternoon and into tomorrow between 3,500 to 4,500 feet. So here's some of the snowfall totals we're expecting over the next couple of days, subject to change. We're thinking 3 to 6 inches for our passes on US 2 and US 12, but not much doing for our passes on US 97 or I-90 or any of our Blue Mountain passes. We have this next storm system as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. This one overall is looking like it's going to be a wetter storm system, not as wintry, but we're thinking that the storm system for Sunday into Monday could feature a little bit more snowfall as the colder air is going to be in place. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Drier Tuesday during the day, but more wet weather expected late Tuesday into Wednesday, turning cooler by Friday. In Yakima, wet weather likely Monday through Wednesday. A few showers left over for Thursday and Friday, then temporarily dry for Saturday. In Ellensburg, cool and damp this week, turning even cooler with highs stuck in the 40s this weekend. For Hermiston, a bit of a break in the action to start Tuesday, but another round of wet weather impacts us late Tuesday into Wednesday. Then in Walla Walla, wet weather likely all throughout this week, slightly drier by Saturday, but more wet weather possible by Sunday.
Now, the morning sprint.
6:53 on this Monday. It's November the 11th, Veterans Day. I'm Austin Reed in for Jessica Jalal. Let's get to some of your big stories this morning. First, in national news, Tuskegee University is in mourning right now after homecoming weekend celebrations turned to tragedy. At least one person is dead. 16 are hurt after a mass shooting there yesterday. Officials say a suspect arrested in connection is charged with possession of a machine gun. They say he was caught leaving the scene. Officials also say the 18-year-old who died wasn't a student. Classes at the university are canceled today and grief counselors are on hand. President-elect Donald Trump says solving the immigration problem is one of his top priorities. Trump plans to name Tom Homan to head Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Homan served as acting director of ICE during the president-elect's first term in office. Let's talk about your business headlines this morning. Nissan is slashing thousands of jobs and planning deep cuts to production due to declining sales. The Japanese automaker says it will cut 9,000 jobs and shrink global production by 20%. Nissan executives will also take voluntary pay cuts, including its chief executive, who is taking a 50% cut in monthly compensation. The company plans to focus on building its electric and hybrid lineups in both China and here in the U.S. Well, Bitcoin has reached a new record high. The world's largest cryptocurrency briefly touched $80,000 for the first time yesterday. It has since continued to rise following the president-elect's victory, which investors believe is a bullish sign for the crypto industry. In your health headlines at 6:55 this morning, it is the most commonly used federally illegal drug in the U.S. But researchers are putting out a warning this morning about cannabis use during pregnancy. One of the children studied who had prenatal exposure to the drug, well, the researchers found many had both cognitive and behavioral impacts. The CDC says cannabis use can affect memory, learning, attention, decision-making, coordination, emotion, and reaction time. More dairy farm workers caught bird flu than the number reflected in official counts. That's according to a new study by the CDC. 7% of tested workers on dairy farms where cows were infected with bird flu caught the virus themselves. Now, officials say all workers on farms with infected cows shouldn't be tested, even if they don't have symptoms. There have been 46 human cases of H5N1 reported in the United States this year. Taking a look at your morning sports headlines, this Tri-City Americans hockey team is on a hot streak. The team snagged its 11th, that's right, its 11th victory in a row over the weekend. The victory came after a 7-2 game over the Red Deer Rebels Saturday night. The Americans wrap up their 6-game homestand tonight as they take on the Calgary Hitmen. In other sports news, it's back. A long-standing tradition before Louisiana State University football games resumed on Saturday after nearly 10 years. A live tiger was brought onto the field and was allowed to parade around Tiger Stadium before the kickoff between LSU and Alabama. Governor Jeff Landry approved the request and brought the tiger into the State Farm from Florida. All right, your time now, 6:56. Here are some of your top local headlines this morning. The Benton County Sheriff's Office investigating a fatal head-on crash between an ATV and a motorbike. It happened late last night on Dag Road. Both drivers died at the scene. 2 people are dead and 2 have been arrested after a violent confrontation in the parking lot of a Yakima Safeway store on Friday. The Yakima Police Department's interim police chief says he and the department are committed to making Yakima a safer place. And the city of Kennewick is hosting the Regional Veterans Memorial in Columbia Park today. The event starts at 11 a.m. There will be a flag raising by the Knights of Columbus Honor Guard and the Pasco American Legion Honor Guard. There will be speakers and elected officials attending. And the city of Yakima will honor veterans with the 2024 Veterans Day Parade in downtown Yakima. The VFW Post 379 is hosting the event. The parade begins at 10:45 at the intersection of Yakima Avenue and 6th Street. We'll have updates through Good Morning America. Thanks for joining us.